Hello. With the ROGUEBLOX public release tomorrow, I wanted to put out a race tier list before, well, anyone else. This tier list is slightly different than other things, as you'll see. I kind of rate things on a scale of W, or L, and so you can use that to consider. I will explain why they're good and their abilities, so you can make a decision on your own, depending on what class you want to go, because it kind of changes for each class. So starting off, we have Human, and I'd say Human is a pretty good race. It has two passive abilities, Ambition, which means you get more EXP gain, and Alignment gain, which is really good if you're lazy, don't want to kill a bunch of people for getting your alignment, and it's pretty good for new players, but and also Autodidact. We don't know the name for this ability, but as the days increase, this is a day 0 ability. Not sure about this, I'm pretty sure. Your M1 damage will increase slightly, so it's good for new players trying to progress, kind of boring, and good for M1 focused builds. Apex. It's alright. So it has a day 0 ability, Monkey Business, where your mana climb, you climb walls twice as fast, and you can double jump. These are really good abilities for obtaining other classes or exploring to different parts that need you need to scale things. But it's completely useless in combat because all the perks are disabled. I don't know if I mentioned, it's a day 0. So, and also Monkey, so if you're into that, there you go. Now we have Elf at 10% as opposed to 13%, and this is a pretty good race. So you have Nano Prodigy at day 0, mana charging is 18% faster. This is just good. You need mana to mana sprint, mana climb, mana shield, so it's just really good. There's not much to say about that. And at day 10, you get a passive mana sentence. Spellcasting range is increased by 7.5%. So if you're a mage build or a other build. So I should mention that mage builds aren't just for the people who get the mage starting class. Other builds, like if you're going into gun, there's a super class called Coyote, which is just Stark from Bleach, and that is kind of a mage class because it scales with mana, and this is good for that. The build I personally want to go is getting a super class in gun for Coyote, and then my extra base class as mage, used with Elf race. That is my idea for when public releases, and it stacks with other things. And then Quincy's Blessing gives you an extra clap slot for, there you go, it's just good. This is probably the best common race in my opinion. It goes crazy with all classes, but mage builds is just especially good, I mean, obviously. And then we have Florian. Cannot pronounce things, don't shoot me. It's an alright race. So at day 0, you have an extra bar, the Essence bar. It doesn't do anything until day 20. At day 3, you get an ability, Floor Pose. You descend into the ground and your head sticks out, like this, like a little flower, and you regenerate hunger and essence for your Essence bar, and you take 55% less damage in the ground. And at day 20, you get the Blossom passive, where when your Essence bar is full, which you fill with Floor Pose, you gain a 10% damage boost. And I'm a little sick right now, so sorry if my voice is horrible. I just do not care. It's alright. It's not bad, and the damage boost is nice, and it's pretty good for PvE builds or if you're lazy. But otherwise, it's just There's better damage boosts, there's better ways to heal, and there's better ways to avoid eating if you're lazy. But it's alright for a PvE build, so if you're out of rerolls, don't want to give I any, no codes, don't want to earn any, there you go. Goblin. Now this is the first L race on the list. It is, just please reroll. It has one passive ability. It gets at day 10, or day 0, where you can eat trinkets, if you're hungry I guess, and you can get more money from selling trinkets. It helps with, like, getting silver, which isn't especially useful. It can be good if you're trying to get a specific reforged enchantment, but like, it's not important, it's not a big boost, it has no drip, it is useless, just reroll. If you got this race, please reroll. Cannot imagine a race worse than this. Here's the race worse than that. So Cactoran is the worst race in the game. Okay, it has two abilities, or I guess passives, but they're just debuffs. They're just flaws, okay? So, Cactusborn, you're spawned in Cactoville. It's in the deep desert. There is nothing nearby. There is nothing in Cactoville. It's not nearby any pylons to get out, and you're also not able to rest in any other civilized location. It's just not good. And day 25, you get the ability Cacto Warp, where you can warp to Cactoville without a pylon. But there's no point, because there's nothing at Cactoville. This is a meme Wraith. It gives you only debuffs. Remold this immediately, unless you're just really into Final Fantasy and love Jumbo Cactar. It is gank on sight. I do not like this race. And now, oh, one more common. We have Lizard. It's an alright race. It's a lot similar to the Apex race, where outside of combat it has good mobility. You have a new run animation where you run on all fours and you run faster. There you go. It's good for getting around the map and unlocking pylons, unlocking classes, exploring, because you don't really know where to go when you're starting out. But it's useless in combat. I say mostly because you could kind of get a jump on someone, you know, this is Runeslayer or something, and it's drippy, but that's about it. So here is Aven. It's the first rare race, and it's okay. So when you're at 50% mana, you get a 0 gravity. Yeah, that's day 0. Day 0, Hollow Bones. When you're at 50% mana, you get a 0 gravity effect, and it's disabled in danger. This is crazy mobility. Much more than Lizard, much more than Apex. It is like the best out of combat mobility you're gonna be able to get until we'll look at the legendary races when we get there. And also, no fall damage. Insane passive out of combat. If you want to get around the map, this is how. If you want to unlock your pylons, this is how. But it's useless in PvP. And if you consider it drip, sure. But that's about it. So this is Phantom, and I'd say this is a pretty good race. So you have 3 passives, or 2 passive and an ability. Loss of Appetite at day 0, Infinite Hunger Bar. Okay, you don't have to go into the ground like Florian to get hunger. You can just not have to eat. Simple as that. Longevity, day 0, you get an extra life, okay? Instead of having to die 3 times in wipe, you can die 4 times. It's just no downside to that. And if you were to gain health back, you can go back to 4. It's not like you have an extra +1 life. It's your max cap is increased by 1. And at day 15, you get Fright. And it's a pretty good move. So you tweak out, and slow everyone down around you, and you stun them. And you can move stack it with other things. But it's a pretty good move for starting combos. It's useful for any class. If you get this race, keep it. This is Robo Kid. It has 2 ability. Bleh. Okay, I cannot speak. 2 passive and an ability. So at day 0, Robotic Exoskeleton, ignore that. You're immune to fire and poison damage, but you can still overheat your fire and lava. This doesn't seem good, but trust me, it is. Immune to fire and poison damage will save you many times. Crazy for PvE, pretty good in PvP. Definitely a comp race. It gets an ability, Maintenance, at day 10. You go into Maintenance and repair yourself, passively healing yourself. It's a healing move. You can't really argue with that. It's a free extra healing move. And at day 15, you get a passive, Alternator. Electric attacks heal you. Nothing bad with that. I'd say it's a good race. If you get this race, keep it. And we don't fully know, but it does counter some moves, and we think it'll counter Smite, which is a strong electric move, and it heals you. And maybe if you're with someone and they have electric moves, they can use it on you to heal you. So there you go. Here's Nomad, and I had a bit of trouble rating this race because it really depends on what class you go for. After this video, I'm going to release another video where I say what are the best classes for each race, or I'm not really doing a class tier list because it's your playstyle, everything's mostly balanced, but for this one it really depends on what you go. So at day 15, you get a single ability, you turn into a Feather Tornado, and if you're hit in the middle of that technique, you do a counter and apply knockdown. Then you can combo off that. Okay, I'd say this is the worst rare race, but it does have some benefits. It's one of the only counter moves in the game, and applying knockdown to get a combo is pretty good. If you have a specific class that wants this, that is up close and personal and really needs the counter to start combos, it can be good. There are better classes for this though. I would say human is a better class, in my opinion. So there you go. Hi Lottle. It's alright. So you get a single passive at day 0. You swim 50% faster, and you get a +5 speed boost when in danger. So, good for mobility in combat. I don't know how this works, because there is a class Poseidon Knight, where you get benefits when in water, and you can have like a little domain expansion where you summon water everywhere to help benefit from that. Don't know if that helps with that, but that's a spear class. That's probably what else I'm gonna go for. So, there's that. It's good for running, mobility, and combat, so it's not bad, but for a 3% rare, which is, you know, like rarer than Phantom and the other, it's not much go, and it's pretty silly. Colon 3. And now we get to the legendary races. So this is Dwarf. It has 2 passives. Bargaining skills, day 0, and Dwarven adaptability. This is day 15, I believe. Didn't put it there. I'll put it in the comments below if I remember. If not, just message there as well. I'll reply. You get a 50% discount at Blacksmith, which is better than it seems, because that's where you will do your reforging and your enchanting. And imagine it's just Terraria, and you're trying to get legendary or whatever on your Zenith. Keep going, keep going, keep going, using all the platinum, or the silver in this case. It's useful. It's a better money skill than the money Goblin class. And Dwarven adaptability, crazy passive. You gain the ability to wear any armor regardless of class. So let's say you have a fun class or a good class, but it's really like no survivability, the armor for the class sucks. You can just wear better armor. I don't really need to say more for that. The build potential for this kind of goes with the build you're going, but 100% keep this race. Not much trip though, but who cares. This is Kaioshin, Dragon Ball reference, don't shoot me. Okay, so probably the best race reasonably obtainable in the game right now. So you get 3 abilities. Gate, you get day 0, you spawn in with the Sky Monolith enabled or unlocked, whatever, and you can use Gate when you need like 70 to 80% mana to cast successfully. Or, not mana. I think it's either mana or chance, I don't fully know, but that's just the data I've been given right here. Interpret as you will. Emperor's Blessing at day 3 means Gate can be casted successfully when over 50% mana, but this is disabled in danger. And at day 25 you get Clap Gate. Doesn't take a clap slot. There you go, Boogie Woogie. Pretty fun. This is for like progressing, for doing anything in the game. Likely the most useful, just because the ability to gate. And eventually your gate can even backfire. If you want to be silly, go to some ultra class and use your gate, so this is probably a success, and have your gate fail. And then you both die. But you don't really lose anything because you permanently have gate. It's just, I mean, this is what people are probably going to try to go for, and it's really drippy. And Orc. Also W race. 2 very simple abilities. Resilience, day 0, plus 20 HP. Can't complain. For you deep wicked nerds, there you go. Adrenaline Rush, day 0. You get a % damage buff. I don't know how much of a damage buff it is, but there is a damage buff for all damage sources, not just M1s, when you're under 60% HP. So there you go. Crazy for PvP, but boring compared to like other things. I'd say keep it no matter what though. Nova Kid. It's okay, I guess. So, a lot of abilities. Let's start with here. Sun Absorption, day 0. You charge mana faster under sunshine. Yay. So, worse elf, I guess. Okay, day 0 as well. Fellow Flame, immunity to fire damage. Yay. Worse Robo Kid. Made from Flame, day 0. Immunity to temperature changes. This is useful for PvE, for going into like a volcano. But, I mean, there you go. In Supernova, day 30. When you're under 10% health, you can kill yourself, and you deal 150 damage to people in range, which is a lot. Probably gonna kill them if you're actually fighting someone, and it auto-grips them. So there's not much going for this race. Do you consider this strip? I do not. I think it's just neon. I don't like this. But it's nice quality of life, especially for a PvE build. And it's got the pretty funny supernova ability. But it's definitely the worst legendary race. And now we're going to the exclusive races. So to start, we have Turpin. It's the best race in the game. 2 simple abilities, poison resistance, and loss of appetite about the day 0. Infinite toxicity bar, infinite hunger bar. It's the best class in the game. You can just make potions, like health potions, anything else, and just drink them, and you can keep drinking them. You're basically invincible. But why not everyone go this race? Because whenever you're making a potion, there is a 0.000001179% chance to get a Hallow Potion when making a potion. Good luck, because you'll need it. And then there's 2 other exclusive races, Oblain and Anion, and outside of how they look, we don't really know what they do or how to obtain them. So there's that. But I thought I'd just mention them here. And that's it. If this helped, please like and subscribe, and you'll be able to see the new video coming soon. Anyway, peace.